How's it going, YouTube? I'm gonna be your host today. I'm Landon Dallatsing, and welcome back to another Most Amazing Top 10 video. So if you guys like this video and you like our Most Amazing Top 10 channel, go ahead and smash the like button. Let's see if we can get us to 10,000 likes. Okay, so we all dream about getting a lot of likes on YouTube videos, right? And also winning the lottery and thinking about how we can spend our newfound fortunes. What would you guys spend your fortunes on? Let me know in the comment section below. Well, some lottery winners act like they have money to burn, and they end up spending their money on crazy things, and before they know it, they're completely broke, and they're worse off than before they won the money. So let's take a look at the top 10 people who went broke after winning the lottery. That is insane. Starting us off in the sad list, number 10, with the typical scenario. Lisa Arcan was the lucky winner of $1 million in the Massachusetts lottery back in 2004. She did the typical thing lottery winners actually do, like buy a house, go on several vacations. However, when you really think about it, $1 million after tax isn't really much in today's world. After she realized how quickly she was going through her winnings, she opened up a family restaurant to try to earn additional income. Unfortunately, within a few years later, she completely ran out of money and her restaurant had to be shut down. She actually said that her lottery experience was more depressing than anything at all. Unhappy meal makes its way into number 9. Luke Pittard won $1.9 million in 2006, but he quickly spent all of his winnings on a trip to the Canary Islands, a wedding, and a house. A year and a half later, he was flat out broke and he was forced to find a job again. He applied to McDonald's and now works in the kitchen flipping burgers. That is insane. A lottery winner working at McDonald's? Is this real life right now? Well, he says he's happy though, but I think that's a lie. No offense to McDonald's or anything, but there's just more better jobs, higher paying than just flipping burgers every day. Karma creeps up at number 8. Denise Rossi won $1.3 million in the California lottery back in 1996, but instead of telling her husband of 25 years about her winning the lottery, she asked for a divorce and she wanted it quickly. Well, soon after the divorce, her ex-husband discovered her lie, and in 1999, a judge determined that she had broken the asset disclosure law, and he awarded her ex-husband with every penny from her winning. You know what they say? Karma can be a bitch. Next up, number 7, we have Vivian Nicholson. She won about 150,000 pounds back in 1961, which is equivalent to about $3.5 million today. She famously said that she was going to spend her money, and that's exactly what she did. She bought expensive designer dresses, lavish vacations, a new car. She bought a new car every 6 months. By the 1970s, she was completely broke, but in 1998, she received money from a musical that was about her life. Well, as you probably guessed it, she spent all of her money on that too. The gambler rolls the dice in at number 6. Back in the mid-80s, Evelyn Adams defied all of the odds by winning the lottery twice. Once in 1985 and again in 1986, back-to-back years. She won $5.4 million, but she also had a gambling addiction. Oh, and also I gotta mention that she lived in Atlantic City, which is a miniature version of Las Vegas. Not good for her. So as you can imagine, it didn't take her long to lose all of her money. So where is she now? She lives in a trailer park and is completely broke. Next up, number 5 is a big spender. Sharon won $10.5 million in 2004, and she spent her money very fast. She would treat her friends on vacations to Cancun, Las Vegas, California, Florida, and the Caribbean. She got married, she bought a house for $500,000, but instead of paying cash for it, she took out a mortgage of $360,000. The spending spree continued as she bought numerous cars, including one that cost her $200,000. She gave millions away to her family and friends. 3 years later, all of her money was gone. By 2008, her husband was arrested for DUI, and she lost her home because she couldn't afford it. Now to pay rent to support her family, she's working part-time and is riding the bus because she can no longer afford her expensive cars. Mansion to the slaughterhouse butchers its way to number 4. At the age of 19 years old, Michael Carroll was working as a garbage man in England when he won about $14.4 million in the lottery. Michael literally blew all of his cash on mansion, drugs, gold jewelry, and hookers. Apparently he would smoke more than 3,000 worth of crack cocaine a day, and he would throw crazy parties pretty regularly. Well, the party is over because he has no memory and he's working at a slaughterhouse barely getting by. So from rich to the slums, that's where he goes. The man who lost it all comes into number 3. Willie Hurt was a family man living in Michigan. When he won the 1989 lottery jackpot, he won $3.1 million, and he opted out to collect annual installments of $156,000 a year. Well, by the time he had received his second annual installment, he was already in the process of a divorce, lost custody of his children, and he had spent most of his winnings on crack cocaine. Things get even more worse. After he spent 48 hours binging on drugs and alcohol, he had a huge fight with his girlfriend, and she was later found with a gunshot to her head. He was charged with murder and could spend the rest of his life in prison. Number 2, too much partying. Back in 1998, Gerald Muswagon won $10 million in the Manitoba Draw in Canada. He spent a large chunk of his winnings on expensive cars for his friends and his families, and he converted his new home into a party pad. Eventually he spent all of his money, and he was forced to take a minimum wage job in order to support his 6 children and girlfriend. Sadly, in 2005, just 7 years after his huge win, he took his own life because he was just broke and he couldn't handle his life anymore. And at number 1, we have a tragic story. Billy Bob Harold Jr. was working as a stock boy at a Home Depot when he hit it big. He hit it real big, $31 million. This was back in 1997. At first, he was living a really lavish lifestyle. He bought a ranch, 6 other homes, he has new cars. So basically, like many other lottery winners, he wasn't able to say no when people asked him for a handout or whenever he saw an expensive looking car. Later on in life, he divorced his wife and eventually committed suicide because the stress of losing all the money was just way too much for him to bear. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next most amazing top 10 video.